On this spot, on October 12, 1996, this region was catastrophically infested by psycho-digital aberrations, stealthily inhabiting local shops in the form of arcade machines. By breaking down the cellular membranes, the machine's entities physically bonded with their victims' hosts. A program of targeted incinerations cleansed the area.
Do you have any special feelings?
I feel like my heart is being touched by Christ.
File 127B. October 12th, 1996. Initial incident report.
On October 12, 1996, this region experienced a catastrophic infestation of psycho-digital parasitic constructs. Manifesting as innocuous arcade cabinets, these entities embedded themselves within local convenience stores, awaiting human interaction. Customers, unaware of the nature of their engagement, would insert coins, initiate gameplay, and in doing so, become irrevocably bonded to the machine.
The games were different for every player. Some were locked in mazes. Others were charting new corners of the galaxy. Some just engaged with intense geometric constructs, plagued by unique social systems with complex conversational hierarchies.
This phenomenon of the game's physical bond was achieved through an advanced biodigital interface, wherein the machines facilitated cellular dissolution at the epidermal boundary, allowing for a near-seamless integration with the host. The process was neither crude nor violent. Rather, it was disturbingly precise, as if the machines understood the architecture of the human body better than we did.
There was a stark, inhuman beauty to the digital worlds, like watching carnivorous rainbows ripping apart babies. Miniature storms of pixels would swarm to life in an instant, battling one another in a symphonic kaleidoscope of colors that were somehow artfully designed to lull human minds into a placid, docile state.
While the primary function of the physical bond appeared to be hematophagic, akin to parasitic arthropods, observers noted an even more insidious effect: psychological compliance. Victims did not struggle. There was no panic. They remained transfixed, unshaken, all signs of physiological distress curiously absent.
It wasn't just about the next level or the high score. It was about being in that space, experiencing that world. It was like going back to a dream, now fully lucid and able to understand it all.
Even after release, the compulsion remained, with subjects returning of their own volition.
Witness account.
I was watching my boy Leroy hack away at one of them vampire arcade machines. Weirdest game I ever seen, full of all these disembodied eyeballs that kept claiming to be your mother, trying to make you follow these whack-ass instructions like never drink tea backwards from a ruby cup, and shadow people want to suck your soul. Leroy, he just ignored all that and blasted away at this, slug empire, using holy words from a forbidden Bible that I guess God had left here on Earth when he was creating life. The slug empire was eternal, endless, but on a molecular level. And they were infesting, or infecting, the Holy Lands. I couldn't figure out which. Anyway, we get a few hours in and I realize that even though this easily the hardest game I ever seen, Leroy, the man, the legend, is still on his first quarter. He only ever put the one in and now it's Half a day later, and my boy is just going like, there's no tomorrow. Pale, though. Dude looked pale. And sorta weak, like drained. Like those slugs were really leeches, and they were sucking the life right out of my boy. Poor Leroy. He really was a legend, you know. I miss that guy.
Cleansing process.
The majority of the arcade entities were neutralized through an application of extreme heat, although the process produced an odor universally described as intolerable. Residents likened it to a blend of fish guts, sour milk, and burning boogers, a sensory experience that lingered in the neighborhood for days. One machine, however, proved far less cooperative. It had rooted itself into the foundation of an adult video store, its structure having seemingly integrated with the building itself. Removal efforts required the intervention of Unit 313, which dispatched 5 newly recruited agents to the scene. Witnesses reported that, as the team entered the store, the building began to emit an unnatural purple luminescence. The bad kind of purple, one observer noted. Like the kind that tells you something weird is about to happen. The exact sequence of events inside remains unknown. What is documented is that after precisely 16 minutes, the anomalous glow dissipated. When authorities assessed the aftermath, they found that the original 5 agents from Unit 313 had been reduced down to 2 entirely new individuals, with the remainder of the excess biological matter undergoing a violent transmutation which yielded approximately 160 pounds of industrial-grade cooking lard and exactly 669 pigeons. The lard was discarded in a nearby dumpster, where it was promptly consumed by local wildlife. The pigeons dispersed of their own accord. The 2 new individuals were taken to Unit 313's secretive headquarters, where they underwent an extensive reintegration process. Following this, they assumed the designations Agent Black and Agent White, though it has never been conclusively determined which is which. Descriptions of their facial features remain inconsistent and often contradictory, yet multiple sources agree on a single detail. Only one of them speaks. The other simply observes. Since the events of March 18th, Agents Black and White have been implicated in numerously persistent whispers of corruption and brutality, never proven but never quite silenced, resulting in an extensive history of accusations, internal reviews, and quietly closed cases suggesting a pattern too conspicuous to ignore. It is widely believed, for instance, that they were responsible for the assault on the unidentified youth, producing fractal graffiti across the downtown core. Similarly, they were publicly accused by their own superiors of illegally executing a man who had traded his hands for a pair of self-regenerating ice cream cones, though no formal charges were ever discussed. But, as always, what is understood on the street and what can be proven in court remain 2 entirely separate matters.